take a look at the week ahead. So, Brad, we've got the FOMC happening next week. What's the overall markets outlook? It doesn't sound so good.
I think we're still, especially after this week and kind of a big negative move, we're still kind of waiting to see where things are going to shake out. Definitely looking a little more bearish. And I was looking back in the charts Friday last week. We had a big pump up, and so now things looking quite a bit different. And next week the meeting. I mean, the Fed's in blackout period, so we don't really expect any more commentary from them, and there's not any major economic points before the meeting. So probably we're going to see a 75 basis point hike next week, if you had to call it today. And people will just be looking at what Chair Jerome Powell says at the press conference for clues on what comes next.
Where do you see support and resistance, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're sort of kind of still in this tug of war between kind of 19,000, 21,000. But just reading David DeWong of Coinbase potentially saying, yeah, we could see 17, or if we crack through that, 15. I mean, just bears saying if Bitcoin is trading in sync with global traditional markets, and we have never seen markets like we're seeing right now. It's just, everything is totally on pins and needles. So anyway, it's a to be seen next week's kind of story.
Mm-hmm. All right. And we're also, continuing to watch the aftermath of the Ethereum merge. Christie, what do you think will be the ultimate impact of this new development, this accomplishment in the Ethereum community on Bitcoin going forward?
Well, I think right now is the time for Ethereum to be reveling in it. I mean, this was a massive accomplishment and it deserves all the hype it's getting. The price, whatever, everything will work out in the wash eventually someday, I'm sure. But what I'm looking forward to is what happens after the hype goes down, and that will have an effect on Bitcoin. For example, how is Ethereum going to deal with issues surrounding centralization and censorship, which I think we've talked about in the past, where it's possible for them to censor blocks more easily at this point with their MEV boost. That is a program that they use to help sort out their blocks. Now, of course, that's not something we have in Bitcoin. However, the idea of having a government or some sort of regulatory body come in and tell validators, in our case miners, what can and cannot be included in blocks, the extension of censoring addresses and blacklisting addresses, that is a concern that affects Bitcoin as well as Ethereum and every other blockchain out there. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to seeing is they are addressing all kinds of great scaling things on Ethereum. There's a lot that's going into that. What are they going to do in terms of addressing privacy and censorship, which is what Bitcoin is focusing all its energy on? So that's where I'm curious to see where everything goes.